My name is Brett. Prison. I'm here trying to strap my microphone to my belt, and it's not going as planned. All right, we'll just put this thing right here. J. Bretton Truitt rides again. There's my shit attempt at impersonating one of my YouTube heroes, Justin Hawkins, lead singer, lead guitar player for The Darkness. Great YouTuber. I am currently laid off or furloughed because of the WGA strike. So I thought, since AI is a huge concern for the WGA and now for the actors, and so I've decided to start this YouTube channel with my old friend Francisco Enciso, who's an amazing artist and animator and just an amazing guy, one of my oldest friends here in the city of Angels, LA, Los Angeles, technically for me, Burbank, but you know, close enough. We're really trying to see how AI can actually be used in our industry for good. What can be accomplished with it? How can the process of making films, videos, television shows be made easier using AI? Some of you may or may not know that I have a family band, the Chest Hairs. So we're going to try to make a music video. The song we're looking at doing is Take Heed. There is a live version of it on YouTube if you want to look it up. The Chest Hairs, Take Heed. Take a look. That's the song we're making a music video for. So we've done a bunch of exploration of how AI can benefit or not benefit the process of making films or music videos in this case. It's an idea in and of itself that works as a standalone story, which is really inspired by Francisco. When he listened to the song, he thought, I envision a final girl, the horror movie trope. The last person alive, it's usually a woman, a young girl, the final girl, the only virgin. In this case, it's not going to necessarily be exactly that formula, but we're going to do something like that. We tried to storyboard some of it using AI, and this is what happened.
One of the things I think we're going to have to do that we talked about doing was having AI storyboard for us. Take the human equation out of it. Well, the human drawing equation out of it, at least. You already have a script, and you would have to set up the shots, I think, like what the action is for the AI to be able to, like
feed it a prompt. And
yeah.
I had some concerns. I had recently watched a film that was made entirely with AI, and it had real consistency issues. Characters didn't look the same from one frame to the next. If I decide my characters look like this, if I give it a photograph, or I give it a drawing, or something like that, or I say, whatever you come up with, I'd like you to carry that character through on the following shots.
Okay.
You know, is there a way to do that?
Okay, yeah, consistency. I'm sure. Yeah.
And not that that matters all that much, but to me, if I'm looking at these things and trying to visualize it as a video or a movie, I want it to be, I want things like that to not jar me out of it and go, oh, it feels weird because this character doesn't look like he did over here.
Yeah, he now suddenly has a mustache.
Yeah.
He didn't have a mustache before. One of the things is it has to be consistent. So
has to be consistent. I would say also, how does it embrace style? I was inspired by that movie Pi. You know, really high contrast black and white. Can it emulate a style if I feed it, say, I want it to look a little like this movie, or do I have to get a photograph, or, you know?
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
like, I think its choices would be interesting to know, like what choice I see it as versus the AI, and obviously how much time is spent getting AI to storyboard versus a human being to storyboard, and which one is usable. And you know, which one tells the story?
We have a script. I did write a script.
We're gonna let's read through it and see if it's like in the action shots, if you have enough there
To feed it to
the
the
AI.
AI. Yeah.
So
All right. We're commencing upon the challenge to see if
no.
AI or Francisco is a better storyboard artist. So
I don't think this is gonna go well for me.
I proceeded to read the entire script to him, including all of the action and descriptions, and he began drawing storyboards.
Perfect. I nailed it.
So then we moved in here into the studio and started to try to generate some images using AI to see what the AI was able to do on a storyboard versus what Francisco was able to do. We kind of walked through the script. Cisco did a brief storyboard. Now we're going to try to do some AI generation for some of these images. So let's see. I do have that script over here too. So let's pull that up. And I can edit it using Final Draft 12. So Final Draft, you'd like to pay me, that'd be great. So we did find a website relatively quickly that used AI to create storyboards. AI storyboard generators.
Whoa.
Let's check that out.
Sounds promising.
Oh, look at this. This is interesting. Take a quick look at what we got here. I don't have my image capture, but that's the image on the screen. Looks promising, right? That certainly looks more rendered than what Francisco drew. So we'll find out, huh? I didn't necessarily want to use the first thing we found. I wanted to see what else might be out there. So we did a further search. We found a website that had several options, and then it gave us what they thought was the best. Knock.io is our top pick because it is specifically designed to create storyboards, and it has a good image generation AI embedded inside. All right. Well, let's see what they say. We're gonna try Knock.io. So let's do that. Or Croc. It's not knock, it's an R, not an N. KROCK.io. So I signed up for the free trial on Croc, which gives you, I think, 10 free images, something like that. And we started to see what it could do, what kind of storyboards it would give us. Pick the style. Okay. Pencil, anime, watercolor, vector art, 3D render, colored pencil, photorealistic.
Ooh.
Custom. I'm going to go with photorealistic.
Oh shit.
How you feel about that?
I better draw fast.
So let's go to our script, and we'll go to our first description. I put my first description in. I tried initially to use something from the screenplay, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like I would get what I needed if I did that. So I altered it and created a prompt that I thought would give me an image that was usable. We've been playing with the AI to see if we could try to get a something usable, but it didn't give us anything all that great. Here, I'll show you. I got the full screen version of what it gave us here. This was with my prompt, which was probably not all that great. Here, I'll read you what I put in there,
Okay.
or you can see it, but I'll read it out loud. There you go. So, what I put in there was a beautiful young woman around 30 years old, sits at her dining room table sipping her coffee during breakfast. She's reading a book on the occult. Her husband, an attractive man in his early 40s, comes in looking very tired. He sits down at the table and begins to cry. And this is what it gave me. Now, I did think I chose photorealistic, but I guess I did not. I chose pencil.
Okay.
So let's go back here and we can do another one.
See, the thing is, though, it's that I feel like, yeah, you go ahead and let's do another one. Let's just do another one.
None of it may be any good. Well, let's see. We're going to create a new frame. We'll save that one. And now we're going to try to emulate the AI generator. There we go. Let's change it to photorealistic.
Okay.
Let's do custom notes. Okay.
I think this is part of the thing that a storyboard artist does, is that he imagines what the shots are and talks to the director, and then they could discuss it. So is this part of like my win here? Because I'm actually,
Because you can do that.
because I could actually tell you, hey, let's start on a close up of the book, and let's widen out to a full shot, maybe over the shoulder. Then our man comes in. We have
let's shoot your
Okay.
drawings.
So in I had the same description that the computer had, and
Actually, you had less. I
did.
actually clarified it, but we had dialogue and action, and that you were able to listen to that it can't hear, which is interesting because I mean a storyboard is drawn from a script, and we have a script, but now I had to modify it in order to get something. And this is the interesting thing: is that first paragraph describes action. And I kind of typed it that way, and it's like, oh, that doesn't really work when you're just trying to get a single still. But you're already thinking in terms of action when you actually draw like this,
right.
you know?
And I think maybe that's the difference.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you could spend more time describing it, but I'm already doing things like improv, where I think to myself, not only do we show our lady here reading the book, what if we do an over the shoulder shot, and the first time we do a match cut closer to a drawing of our our demon coming up. So maybe these are the things that an AI can't do.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's very, what we're experiencing right now, it shows how difficult this is to do, even with AI. Now, the interesting thing is, I can't really draw that well. I mean, I can draw a little bit, and I could probably come up with something kind of rudimentary if I were doing this myself, you know, if I didn't have somebody who was an illustrator helping me. But even still, I'm like, I feel like it would take me several prompts to get something good. But it's also about learning how the system you're using responds.
I think so.
Because I think that's definitely part of it. Is like, okay, this one responds well. I actually saw this thing on LinkedIn the other day. It was a graphic, but it was for ChatGPT. But it was basically using phrases and things like, if you want to get some sort of result like this, you got to kind of phrase it like this. You have to say it like this.
Right.
And I think any of these things are going to respond better if they're getting the optimum kind of like language prompts. We decided to feed it a couple of more descriptions and see what we could get.
Oh man, this is very descriptive.
Yeah, a close-up shot of a satanic book with a pentagram on the cover, etched in blood. The camera pulls back to reveal a beautiful young woman sitting at a table reading this book and enjoying a cup of coffee. All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
We're going to spend a token on this. Generate. Magic happens.
Let's see. It's thinking about it.
It's very exciting.
Okay. I'm excited.
Hi, I'm up here. And I could come down here. Hi.
He's still thinking about it.
Oh,
you give it lots of...
look at this.
Wait.
Almost.
Here we go.
Let's see what it does. We'll go ahead and download so we can see a big copy of it here. Still downloading. God, how big is it? Okay, here it is.
Okay.
That doesn't look like a pentagram though. And what is this?
It decided to make your coffee satanic. The darkest of dark coffee. the darkest coffee you can get. I'll drink that.
But you know what's interesting from an art design perspective, like for this book, this is kind of cool. There's something there. I wish I could see that sharper.
Why? Yeah, why wouldn't it put the coffee in focus?
As if the coffee was the focus. Yeah.
maybe I need some coffee. it's trying to hint.
Maybe it thinks that the etched in blood is on the coffee cup too.
Oh.
We decided we would try one more, and I pulled up the scene where our main character tries to summon a demon to help him increase his worldly knowledge and power. It's kind of a Faustian tale. And I wrote a pretty significant description that was drawn from the script that talked about having a pentagram on the ground and candles, I believe, and things like that. And it really, again, didn't give us anything like what I was hoping for. And this is it. And as you can see, the character, again, his face is kind of strange. And there's no pentagram. So you just saw our whole process of trying to get the AI that we were using, Croc.io, to generate some storyboards, and then we at the same time you drew storyboards, and we had to
Yeah.
make a comparison or come up with some conclusions. What do you think about it?
I think I won. I think I won. I think humanity won.
I think in this case, you're right. I would agree with you that if I were a director and I were trying to generate storyboards for something I was actually trying to produce, I would definitely prefer to work with a human being. I can tell you that without question. It's very difficult to get it to do what you want. That's the big lesson for me. You were cheating though. And when it comes to time, you were drawing when it wasn't doing anything.
Okay,
But
I cheated. Okay, I cheated because I was really scared. I was really, really scared. I had to draw as fast as possible. However, I was like in the octagon doing steroids when I didn't need to. I could have beat this thing up with one hand really tied behind my back. Because even though I cheated, I was much faster. I did like a bunch of shots before you even got that one that quite frankly wasn't all that great.
No, it wasn't. That first hand-drawn one, it wasn't even really about how well it was rendered. I mean, it was rendered mediocre for sure. But the idea that it thought that the other character was in a different table, I thought that was really weird. That like the whole idea was that he comes in and he sits down at the same table that she's sitting at. So they put him at some other table. He's got this weird amorphous face. I've noticed all of them had this kind of, except for the woman.
To be fair to the AI, did you tell them they were both at the table?
I said, well, I thought I sits at the table, which I already described. She was sitting at a table. I would assume it would. My thing would think that it would understand that it's the same table. Obviously, it did. Obviously, it thought he was sitting at another table. He was sitting at the crybaby table. He tried to sit at her table. She goes, "No, this table's for men. You can sit over there at the crybaby table."
Did he look like he was crying?
No, because he had these weird like little slits for eyes, and it didn't look like he was crying at all. But what was interesting is the third one that we did, where he's in front of the pentagram on the floor. He kind of had the same weird amorphous slits for eyes expressions. It was like didn't really have a face. Like in both of those, even the hand-drawn one and the photographic one, there really wasn't really a face there.
Well, who's to blame there?
I guess it could be me.
Did you describe?
I said a handsome man.
A handsome man, but that's very generic.
And all I said for her was a young, beautiful woman, but it gave me a full rendering of her.
Was she beautiful?
Yeah, that's debatable. But
beautiful enough.
Yeah, she had a face.
She had a face.
Because the man didn't. He was crying so hard he cried his face off.